We are testing the Supertrend Indicator today, boys and girls. Very exciting. Those of you who are not familiar with it, just understand it can be used in a couple different ways. So let's go take a look at those now. And by the way, if you don't get this reference right here, it's because you're not old. So again, this is part of the indicator profile series that we do here in conjunction with Stonehill Forex. And some of you might be saying, this is a pretty basic indicator. You've talked about this before. Why are we doing a video on Supertrend? Well, you won't know until future videos, but I think it's important we do this now. And yes, it is fairly common. I mean, there are even no-nonsense Forex traders out there, those troglodytes, those rock dwellers. Even some of them have heard about this one. I've seen people in the crypto community use it. But it certainly doesn't hurt to do it now, and it doesn't hurt to do it early on in this indicator profile series. Hint, hint for later. But let's go ahead and jump into things. If this is your first video on this channel, please go to nononsenseforex.com and start at the very beginning. You'll be glad you did, and you'll be all caught up. But into the specs we go. This was supposedly created in 2006, which we like. And this is a confirmation indicator. On the Stonehill Forex blog right now, I think he has it listed as a baseline indicator. That is incorrect. It is very easy to confuse the two. And I'm sure if you see this down the line, he will have changed that by now. But make no mistake, it is not a baseline indicator, it is a confirmation indicator. And the reason why it's so easy to make that mistake is because this is a chart indicator, or as intelligent people would say, an overlay indicator. It does not go under your chart, it just goes right there on the chart itself, right on top of your candles. And can you use this as an exit indicator? I put an enthusiastic definitely here, because in a lot of the conversations I have seen since I first talked about this indicator a long time ago, I would probably say the majority of people using it are using it as their exit indicator, not as a confirmation. Interesting, right? Now keep in mind, when we show you the testing is going to be as a confirmation indicator, not as an exit. Just remember that. But speaking of, let's get into that. Quick disclaimer, pause it, read it. Moving on. Now the indicator itself is so easy. You don't even have to do anything. And when it changes to green, you go long. When it changes to red, you go short. If you're using it as an exit indicator, you would just do the opposite. You would exit your trade on shorts when it flips green. You would exit your long when it flips red. Now, if you're using it as an exit indicator, that's great, but you would probably want to tighten these lines up a little bit. Because even though I know that's a big candle, let's just say you entered here, with either this or a different indicator, and you got all of this great action right there, but you didn't get out until like right there. That would be a bummer. But this is a useful little indicator. As you can see, it follows price down real nice. This is a pretty good example because it trends really nicely. But if it started to range and get all horizontal on you, this thing would probably change colors pretty quickly and get you out. So without further ado, let's go take a look at the tests. As you know, we test this on Euro USD, gold, and Bitcoin. Take a look at Euro USD. Interesting here on the daily, I thought. So fairly basic on its own on the default settings, but did get better with the tweaks. Now, they had to increase the trades to get it there. Now, 26 trades in a year on one currency pair, for me, is a bit high. Keep in mind, I trade 36 pairs. Last time I said this, I think a week ago, people were like, "Oh, I thought it was 28." If you watched or listen to every Forex Q&A podcast episode, you will know we also trade the Singapore dollar here now. We didn't before, we do now. It has been pretty good to us so far, but that is just a personal preference for me. And as you can see, not really too much goodness here on the 4-hour. Moving on to gold. This is where things get very interesting. On the daily, did get better. Again, 24, 2 less than 26. Still a lot for me, but a lot of metals traders only trade gold, as we've said before. So that's not bad. Where it gets a bit ridiculous is here on the 4-hour. Uh, old Dan was putting in work here. So really bad on the default, but he finally got it to give us a positive ROI after he tweaked the amount of total trades to 152. That's right, boys and girls, 152 trades in a 3-month period of time. Not bad if you're running an EA, I guess, but may want to skip this one on gold. On to Bitcoin, pretty good. Not an overwhelming amount of trades. Then again, these might be low because a lot of crypto traders only trade Bitcoin. But the tweaks, again, did this one good, and you're wondering where the tweaks are. Once you go to the actual blog, which I will link down below, it is the information over here off to the right. So speaking of all the information I'll be including in the description, you will find a link down below to the automation blog where you can actually test these things on your own. There's a video there that shows you how. The actual blog where Dan Stone deep dives and shows you the tweak settings that you can use as well. And then a place to go download it yourself, even though Supertrend is widely available. Can't stop, won't stop. If you like these, you're getting a lot more coming. But don't miss out. Subscribe, hit the bell. We have common indicators. We have very obscure indicators. We will be testing them all. I will be sharing tips as we go. This can absolutely make you a more profitable trader. And now it's time for you to start testing these on your own, plug it into your system, and go get it.